This is Detective Jess Askin. I look for exclusions and limitations on policies. Now, today's question is, I'm taking my family on vacation. Will my auto insurance transfer to a rental vehicle? Well, the answer is no if it's going to be used in business or is larger than a pickup or a van. Otherwise, the answer is yes, no, maybe, and not enough. I'm using a Georgia auto insurance policy as an illustration. You need to read and understand your own policy. Yes, Part A will transfer to an insured or family member. Here's the definition of family member for your covered auto. Well, here's the definition of your covered auto. But just briefly, I'll go over it. It's got to be listed on the deck page, garaged at the policy address, acquired during the policy period. You've got to have all owned vehicles insured with the same carrier. It's a replacement or a temporary substitute. And vacation rentals are not temporary substitutes unless you can prove one of these 5 reasons. Now, liability does not transfer, as I said, if it's used in business or intentional acts, and even the damage to the rental vehicle itself. So, how does damage to the rental vehicle get covered? The answer is damage to the rental vehicle is covered under Part D. You call it comp and collision, and that's assuming that you have it on your policy. It'll actually transfer if it qualifies as a temporary substitute, but remember those 5 reasons that makes it a temporary substitute. And here's something else. In this policy, if you have damage to a non-owned vehicle, the deductible doubles. And it gets worse. Now, how could it get worse? Well, you have something called transportation expenses, and you also have a deductible. The transportation expenses are somewhere between $10 to $20 a day for up to 30 days, and it goes toward the rental company's loss of revenue. Well, you know that the rental is going to be more than that, and they're going to charge you every day while it's being repaired and not able to be rented. The company may want to settle ACV, and you may have a 48-hour deductible for if it was a theft loss. Does my credit card cover a rental vehicle? Maybe. Best advice is to contact the credit card company since it varies from company to company. For example, here are some of the restrictions. They won't cover several types of vehicles: trucks with open beds, exotic vehicles, popular SUVs, and even damage on a dirt or gravel road is prohibited. So, should I buy the rental company's loss damage waiver? Yes, and you must follow the restrictions in the rental agreement. Your coverage may become void if the loss was caused because you were speeding, driving under the influence, or some other reckless error. Don't allow anyone to operate the vehicle unless they are listed on the rental agreement. And your policy's comp and collision is actually excluded if you do purchase the company's loss damage waiver. But that's okay, because the LDW advantages are really good. And number 1, if you suffer a loss, and hand the keys to the rental agency and ask for another vehicle to be brought to you while you continue to enjoy your vacation. Number 2, there's no deductible, no claim against your own auto policy, no claims for loss of revenue, and no difference between ACV and replacement. So, what I figured out is that even though some coverages may be duplicated, it's cheap vacation insurance when you compare it with the non-owned vehicle limitations of your own carrier. This is Jess Askin, asking you to have a great vacation.